Yeah, good afternoon everyone. On this day, in this video, we are going to complete the pointers concept which we are continuing. So a pointer is a variable that can hold the address of another variable. This is how, yes, we are going to revise for a couple of minutes. Yeah. So this is how you are going to declare a pointer variable of type integer or float or character. Then we are having normal declaration, that is data type, then followed by identifier, whereas a pointer will have an asterisk symbol followed by an identifier. Then this is how you are going to declare a normal variable, and this is how you are going to declare a pointer variable. So just a second. A variable is a name directly reference to a value. A pointer is indirectly references to a value. So ampersand is called as address operator, star is called as a dereferencing operator or a dereference operator. Then opposite of ampersand is asterisk, where ampersand represents the address and this represents the value at an address. Asterisk represents value at an address. Now, this is how you are going to declare a normal variable. This is how you are going to declare a pointer variable. And here is the place where you are going to assign the address or to a pointer. A few points are there. I'll show you the PPT also after the class. So you can go through the PPT also. So some advantages of using pointers, drawbacks of using pointers. Then one example, accessing address, how to access the address. Then a single line can be replaced with two lines, that is integer star p is equal to ampersand a, means we are assigning the address of a, can be written as integer star p separately, p is equal to ampersand a separately. Declaration and initialization both can be performed in the same line. So this is also acceptable. So this is illegal operation. Star PTR is equal to 1000. Directly you cannot assign the address to a pointer. It is illegal, but it is acceptable. As per dev or some online compilers, these are going to get executed anyhow. So don't try it. It is not allowed legally. So we are having variables. Some programs are there. Now let us get back to pointers. Yeah. Yeah. Here, one more slide. Let's go further. Scale factor. Next. Some programs are there. Declaration, rows and columns. Adding. Yeah, let us concentrate on this part. When you are dealing with a two-dimensional array, how this two-dimensional array is going to be implemented in pointers. In pointers, how to access a two-dimensional array. Now, if you are having a two-dimensional array, that two-dimensional array is pointed by a pointer, then you are having, just concentrate over here, p is the name of the pointer whose base address we are taking place. I means if you are having nested for loop, because we are going to use two for loops for two-dimensional arrays. So here we are going to use I into column size, means how many columns are there. If it is a 3x3 matrix, here you are going to write 3. If it is a 2x2 matrix, here you are going to write 2. Here you are going to specify how many columns are there. If you are having 3 columns, just write 3 here. Then J value into size of the data type. In my case, in my desktop, in my compiler, which is of 32-bit or 16-bit, it is going to allocate 4 bytes of memory. Then there it may be allocating 8 bytes of memory in your system, maybe. So here you need to provide the size. So for example, here a of 00 can be accessed by the starting base address or the pointer's address plus 0 is the index value of I into 3, means we are having a 3x3 matrix, plus 0 is the value of J into 2 if it is allocating 2 bytes of memory. Then it is 0, almost equal to 0, that is 1000. Then 1002, 1004 depends on the bits, the number of bytes it is allocating. 2 means plus 2, 4 means plus 4, so on. So this is how you are going to access the address or access the two-dimensional array using addresses. Here in this case, the starting value of A is 1000. Starting or the base address of A is 1000 and the index value is 0 of I. Then number of columns is 3, and here the next 0 represents the j value. And here asterisk 2 means the size of the data type. Here in this example, we are allocating 2 bytes, so it is 2. It may be 4 bytes, it may be 8 bytes, depending on the compiler that you are using. So that's it. Let us move to the next slide. So based on this, we are having a program. Now let us execute this program. So here what we are having is, we are having a pointer, a two-dimensional array, ij for using for loops, then b of 10, 10, c of 10, 10, column is equal to 3. Now, for your understanding, let us get back to the previous slide. Yeah. Now, just concentrate on this slide. Now, this is a 3 cross 2 matrix. See here, we are having 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 2, 0, 2, 1, 3, 0, 3, 1. Now, here let us take a pause, how the memory is being allocated as per our view and how the memory is being allocated inside the computer. So as of now, this is a 2 cross 3 matrix. Let us take a 2 cross 3 matrix. Now, the index value of this is 0, 0, and this one is 0, 1. Right? This one is 1, 0. Just a second, and this one is 1, 1. Oh, it's a 2 by 4 matrix. Just a second. I'll stop. Control Z. So let me clear this box. So, so this is a 2 cross 4 matrix. So the process of allocating is, so here you may be declaring A of, just let me change the color, A of 2, 4. This is how you are going to declare this array. And coming to the addresses, here you will be having 0, 0, and here you will be having 0, 1. Coming to this memory location, here you will be having 1, 0, and here you will be having 1, 1. Similarly, here you will be having 0 as index values, and here you will be having 2, 1, sorry, 2, 1. Then here you will be having an index value as 3, 0, and here you will be having 3, 1. So these are the indices, and here we feel that it is a two-dimensional array and the memory will be allocated like this, but unfortunately inside the computer the memory that is getting allocated is in this format, in a sequence. Though it is a two-dimensional array, the memory will be allocated in a sequence. Oh, what happened? The memory will be allocated in a sequence. Now see here, you will be delighted to see the index values. So here, just a second. Yeah, here the index value are 0, 0, and here address is 402, then 404. See here, after 0, 1, we got 10, the address is 406. 4006. We are considering 2 bytes of memory allocation in this example. So the memory is allocated in a sequence. This is what is important to understand. Till now, we thought that a 2 cross 4 matrix will be in a square or rectangle format, but inside the memory, when it is coming to memory allocation, it will be allocated in a sequence. So this is one important point that you are supposed to consider. Is there any doubt in this particular slide?
Box expenses 69, 66, 55.
Yeah.
Box 3, 6, 9, 66, 55.
That is example values. Those are example values. Let us store in a 2 cross 3 matrix, and I'll show you that once again. Just a second. So this is a For example, this is a 2 cross 4 matrix. Yeah. Somebody got a chat. No doubt, sir. Very good. But one of our friend asked, so let us explain with respect to values. So as per our assumption, we consider that it will be stored like this. So here we'll be having a value 3. These are random numbers that we have taken, random values. So 6 here, then followed by 9 here, then followed by a value 66 over here, then followed by a value 55, followed by a value 43, followed by a value 78, and here we may be having the value 3. So this is with respect to example. And coming to the index values, the index values may be here 0, comma 0. Just a second. Then here the value may be 1, comma, no, 0, comma 1. The value will be 0, comma 1. And coming to here, the value is 1, comma 0, and this one is 1, comma 1. This one is 2, comma 0, followed by 2, comma 1. Here it is 3, comma 0, followed by 3, comma 1. So this is how the values are being stored. So 43 went inside. Yes, let me clear and write it again. Oh, purple Z. Okay, forget. So here we'll be having a value called as 43. Here the value is 43. So this is how the data is stored inside the memory as per our view. And internally, the memory that is going to get allocated is in a sequential order. The memory that is getting allocated is in a sequential order. So here, this is a one dimension, this is another dimension, and this one will be considered to be another dimension. Okay. So this is how internally the memory is going to get allocated. So we need to concentrate on this view because we are going to write the programs with respect to online exams. When you are going to go for replacement drive, the questions will be in this format, not in this format. Okay, how the memory is going to get allocated. So here 4002 is the address, 4004, 4006, 4008, 4010, 4012, 4014, 4016. Everything arranged in a sequential manner. Okay, so shall we move on to the next slide? Is there any doubt? You can ask. Otherwise, we'll move to the next slide. Okay, so now the same concept is depicted over here. So we'll see one example. So here what we are doing is we are declaring a pointer variable which is supposed to be pointed to A matrix, then IJR for the loops, then B matrix, Q, R matrix, C matrix is to be pointed by R. Number of columns we are fixing for 3. So how this is happening, let us see with one example. So let me open dev environment for you, just a second. Dev. Screen. Can you see the dev environment now?
Yes, sir.
And let's go 5. It's a C project. It's a console application. So let me do this one. So now we are concentrating on how to access an array using pointers, two-dimensional array using pointers. Accessing two-dimensional array using pointers. So I'll copy paste that code. So here we are having integer star p comma integer star q comma integer star r. So these are the three pointers and these are the three memory allocations: integer I, then integer b of 10 cross 10, then c of 10 cross 10. Then we are considering that we are fixing the columns, number of columns to be 3, and we are using integer I comma j. Okay, so this is how you are going to declare the variable. Just concentrate. We are taking 3 pointer variables, 3 two-dimensional arrays, and we are fixing that the columns are number are 3. Okay, so it may be a 2 cross 3 matrix or 10 cross 3 matrix. So here we are using a loop. So how to assign the address? P has to be pointing to A of 10, 10, B of 10, 10, and C of 10, 10. So in order to do that, we are going to take the example help of this code. P is equal to ampersand. So this is how we are going to point to a two-dimensional array. Using one-dimensional array, for pointing one-dimensional array, directly you can write P is equal to address, or you can write A, or you can write P is equal to address of A of 0. Now this is with respect to only one-dimensional array. These two are with respect to one-dimensional array. But if it is a two-dimensional array, then you are supposed to write like this. This is how you are going to point to an array of 2 dimensions or multi-dimensions. Is this point clear? Now what we are going to do is we are going to... Yeah?
Once more.
Once more? Okay. So this is how you are going to assign the address. Means, for example, A of 10 cross 10 matrix is there, means we are having a two-dimensional matrix. We are having another two-dimensional matrix. We are having another two-dimensional matrix. So I'll take the example of Excel. So for example, we are having a array of 100 cells. As per our example, we are saying that a two-dimensional array is allocated in a sequence manner. Another array, another array. So this is how you are going to allocate the memory. I hope it is visible now. So here we are going to call it as of A of 10 cross 10. Understood that this won't be visible. So control A, control A. So I hope this screen is visible now. A of 10 cross 10 is visible. Yeah, thank you. So here it may be a B, here it may be a C. So C, and this one is B. Now these elements will have the base address. That base address, say 100, and the base address of this one is 200, and the base address of this memory location is 300. Suppose if it is a 2-byte memory allocation, then the next address will be 102, and this process follows. This process follows. So the next one will be 104, 106, 108, so on. Yes, so on. So similarly here we'll be having 202. So the addresses are going to continue in this fashion. And similarly here we'll be having 302, and the addresses are going to go in the similar fashion. So now just let us concentrate. Let us create pointers here. So we are having a memory location which is called as a pointer. Say this is one pointer, and the name of it is star P. So what it is having, it need to have 100 in order to point order to point to this particular memory location. So if it is having 100, it is going to point here. If it is having 200, then it will be pointing here. If it is having 300, it is going to point here. Is this clear? So in order to store the address into pointer, what is the line you are going to write? You are going to write something like this. P is equal to ampersand A of 0, 0. So this is how you are going to write. This is how you are going to write P is equal to address of A of 0, 0. Means now the pointer is going to point to 0, 0th location of A. So P is going to point to 0, 0th location of A. In similar fashion, if we want to allocate one more memory location, just concentrate here. I want to copy and I want to create one more pointer variable called as Q. Q. Now suppose Q is having 100, then Q also points to this particular memory location called as 100, but we want it to point to 200. What is the line of code you are going to write here such that instead of 100 it need to have here 200? What is the line of code? Q is equal to, what is that? Ampersand B of 0 and 0. This is what you are going to write. Now, if you write Q is equal to B, Q is equal to ampersand B of 0, 0, then our pointer called as Q is going to point to the array called as B. Similarly, we are having one more pointer called as R. It is going to point to 300. Is this clear?
Clear, sir.
So now you will understand this code. P is equal to ampersand A of 0, 0, Q is equal to ampersand B of 0, 0, R is equal to ampersand C of 0, 0. I hope it is understood now. So using these pointer variables, you have to accept the values, you have to print the values. So let us accept the values for A first. So for that sake, what we are going to do is we are going to write a nested for loop. This is how you are going to write for a nested for loop without using pointers. So here now let us concentrate on this particular line, how to accept. First of all, here if you don't write this line, what is the line you are going to write? You are going to write A of ampersand A of 0 and 0. A of 0, 0, or you are going to write A of ij. A of ij. Is this right? Do you recollect this? You have done this concept in your introduction to programming. Okay. Now the same line is going to get replaced with this line. Now, what is this? P is the base address. What is it holding? The address of A. Say the address of A is 100. Okay, in this example, let us say the address of A is 100. So here we'll be having 100 plus, what is this I value?
0.
I value is 0, J value is also 0. So 0 into number of columns is 3 plus 0. Okay, 0 into number of columns is 3 plus 0. Then into size of integer. What is the size of integer as per our example is concerned? It is 2 bytes. As per our example is concerned, it is 2 bytes. Now, what is this equivalent value? Just concentrate. The higher precedence will be given to the internal. Okay. The highest precedence will be given for internal aspect. Now, internal means this one. 0 into 3, 0, plus 0, 0, 0 into 2, 0. So finally, you are going to copy the content into 0th location. Then for the next time, I value or J value is going to increment. So for the next iteration, J value is going to increment. So
that is 2.
So here it is 100. Here it will become 102. Next iteration 104. Next iteration, here it is going to have 2. So 104, 106. This process goes on. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So we are storing the value at address 100, then we are storing the value at address 102 at 104. So I am removing these lines. So in order to avoid confusion, let us write printf slash n, enter value at a of %d and %d, comma I, comma j. Okay, so this is the place where we are accepting the value. So similarly, we need to print the value. Okay, how to print the value? Let us copy and paste this line, this for loop. So here we are going to write one printf slash n semicolon. Then here we don't have this printf. Yeah, we have printf. Then we are going to write %d. Only one %d is enough. Then we are going to write this particular line of code. So here in the beginning we are going to keep a star. That's it. Rest of the program will be same. So here we are going to write a asterisk. Star value at address. It is 100, 102, 104, 106, so on. Yes. So here we are going to keep a star. The rest of the code will be same. Let us execute the program. Compile and run. So main save. Yes. What happened? Lower brackets. Yeah, one more parenthesis. Execute, compile and run. Here also one more parenthesis. Yes, one more parenthesis. Execute, compile and run. I hope it has to work. 3 cross 3 matrix, enter value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why? Because we have written a slash in there. So here we should not write a slash n. Let us go with a %3d, means 3-digit number. So let us execute, compile and run. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So our program is working fine. So what we are doing here, we are changing an array to a pointer. Okay, two-dimensional array to a pointer. This is how you are going to access a two-dimensional array. Is this clear? Any doubts in the program?
No, sir.
There is no doubt. I'll copy and paste and we'll move to the next slide. Yeah. So in WhatsApp, I have shared. Oh, these are the 4-6. In the last class, I have shared you the notes of both the units. I hope you have seen. Then I have shared the previous question papers also. Have you seen that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just go through. And by the end of the day, I'll be sharing the PPT of pointers also. Okay. So let us move forward to the next slide. This one, yeah. So this one is over. So now let us try with P, Q, and R. So let us do matrix addition, but unfortunately, I don't think dev is going to work. So let us try. So here we are accepting the input of P, right? So it is first matrix. So printf slash n, enter matrix 1 or matrix A details. Then let us copy paste this line of content code. Let us write. I hope you recollect matrix addition program which you have done in your previous semester.
Yes,
So
sir.
here, yeah. So here change only P to Q. Then what you are going to do is you are going to copy here printf. So slash n matrix entered matrix A. Entered matrix A. Similarly, we are going to print There is semicolon. Similarly, let us copy and paste. Let us write entered matrix P. Here instead of P, write Q. Rest of the code remains same. Then here matrix A plus B is equal to, so it is not entered. Yeah, somebody sent a message chat. Printf spelling wrong. Yeah. Thank you. We are in B. So printf, rest of them is right. Printf. So matrix A plus B is equal to PQR. So this is how we are going to do this concept. So printing matrices. Now what we need to do is we need to write the code for addition. Okay, we need to write the code for addition. So how to write the code for addition? Matrix addition code. So what we need both of the for loops. So let us copy paste both of the for loops. Then let us remove this concept of. So here just concentrate. What we need is we need an asterisk R plus column of ij. This is how you are going to access R. So R is equal to, just a second, I need to column plus J1 with extra, yes. So this is how you are going to add u is equal to, this is in other words, this is equal to C of ij. C of ij is equal to A of ij means this is P, then plus symbol, then this is B of ij. So here B of ij, this is almost equal to C of I j is equal to A of I j plus B of I and A j. A little bit complicating. We are doing in today's complete class will be a little bit complicated. Now this concept you can see in placement drive related exams, not in normal C programming. These will be seen in placement drives. Okay.
So why don't we add this thing, I mean, which you have selected now in the upper for loop?
Where?
These things are, it is star R plus some, this line in the upper line under the scanner.
Here, yes, we can do, but I want to differentiate that this is only for accepting the value.
Yes, sir. This will shorten the code.
Yeah, shorten the code, yes. In order to further shorten, we can use the functions also.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good idea. But in order to make our students understand clearly, so this is the code for addition. Okay. As our friend said, this line can be added over here and the code can be reduced. Yes. Okay. So we'll do that also. Let us execute the code, compile and run. I hope it has to work fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Wow. So entered matrix A, we got correctly. Entered matrix B, we got correctly. But here we lost. Okay. Some values are getting printed. Let us cross check. Is there any error in the code? So where is this addition concept? So R plus I.
Size of it is not mentioned.
Sir, you enter B, sir, in the place of Q.
Where?
B.
On that line.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. So this is Q. So let us execute and see once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we got 2, 4, 6. We got correct. The rest of them are wrong. So there might be some issue in the code. star r plus I plus 4 plus j p plus I. So for the first iteration, it is working fine. For the next iteration, it is losing. Is there any issue in printf? No, same code, right? Same code, so there is no issue in printf. So you can check in the online compiler whether this code is working fine or not. So if we change this code, now what happens? Let us see whether it is going to work or not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So something bad happened here. Something bad. 123. This is fine. When coming to addition, is it addition is performing fine? Let me check. So instead of printing the third matrix, let us print here C of ij. Let us cross check whether it is working fine or not. Is there any issue in the code? So this has to work now. Execute, compile, and run. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Addition is not being performed. Is it so? C of ij. We are using C of ij in addition. Yes, C of ij is equal to E of ij plus B of ij. So loop is having no problem. So shall we take this completely? Yes. So let us try with this one. So it must be, let me comment this line also. Anyhow, so star. Anyhow, we are getting a different output. So this must be PQR asterisk is equal to, so asterisk P plus asterisk Q. So I hope it has to work now. Maybe we may get a L value error here. Let us cross check, compile and run. Good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 1, 2, 3, something is happening. Only the first value is correct. God only knows what is happening with the rest of the values. So something bad is happening here. So let me comment this line also. This also we don't need. Actually, this has to work. Star r plus I into column plus j. Column is 3, right? COL. Yeah, column is 3. So this has to work. Whether anyone is having code blocks installed on your systems? Any online compiler? If so, try this
VS
program.
Code, sir. I have VS Code.
Yeah,
Visual Studio Code.
Visual Studio is there. Okay, good. Try this one. Just let me change this C of ij. It has to work because we do the values. Okay, understood. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, understood. So here we are using into size of int. Let us remove this. Let us remove one small bracket. Now let us replace all the printers and see whether they are working or not. So this is Q. Q, and this one is P. Don't get confused. You may be seeing some stars, asterisks, etc. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Something bad is happening everywhere. So our previous code was right. Printf.
Sir, once try printing size of int also, sir, in addition.
Size of
Int in addition for loop.
this one.
Yes, sir.
Even 4 bytes in my system.
In addition for loop.
Printf slash m size is equal to %id comma size of int. It will anyhow print 4 bytes. Either you write inside or outside, everything's in. So let's copy this one. Printf pqr. So let us not with this one only compile. And pqr is equal to p plus q semicolon. I'm keeping a bracket here. Star will be having highest precedence. Let me check whether this is going to work or not. Let's hope this has to work. No. So PQR R is equal to P plus Q. Execute, compile, run. Oh, what happened? One more bracket. Good. Execute, compile, and run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 12. Wow. Now we thank God. So we got the program.
Sir, we haven't mentioned the size. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, that's the mistake. So here the size is 4 bytes being allocated in this compiler. Maybe in your system it may be 8 bytes or 2 bytes. It depends on the compiler. So let me remove this code. So morning I tried without this size and I lost. I thought there is an issue with dev, but luckily there is no issue with dev.
Yes, sir.
Problem with my code. So now it's working fine. So let me remove the comments. I hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
The thing is simply we are replacing the code. Okay, don't see this one all at once and don't get frightened. What is all this code? Okay, if you recollect the concept of slide, then you will be understanding.
Yes, sir.
And the person who is absent for this class, if you show this program, then they will not see this program. Yes, because they don't understand what exactly is happening. And this line is a havoc for them. What exactly is happening? Okay. So this kind of code you are going to get in your placement drives, not in any exams, etc. Only for competitive exams. Luckily, we executed this one. I'm copying and pasting. this code in our group. Thank God. Morning session for E2 batch. I didn't got the code. I'll copy and paste for them also. So let us get back. If somebody is sending a message. Sir, once again explain that line, sir. Expected. So it is a huge code. Just what we are going to do is let us take this line separately. Okay.
Yes.
So we are going to take this line separately, then you will understand. So what we are going to do is this particular line can be written as A of ij. Simple code, nothing is there. A of ij, it is very straightforward. A of ij, and before this what we are going to do is P is equal to A of 0 and A 0. A of 0 0. So now we are pointing to 0th address. Okay, P is pointing to 0 address. Now here A address is, for example, 100. The address of A is 100. Then the next one will be 102. For example, if it is allocating 2 bytes, 104. Then next one will be 106. The next one will be 108. The next one will be 112. 102, 104, 106, 108, then it will be 110. Then after this, we'll be getting 112, 114, then 118 will be the next address. So these are the addresses of memory locations. Now here, if you write P is equal to A of 0, 0, yeah, 116, thank you. 116, thank you. So these are the addresses of different memory locations. Now what we are going to do is we are going to replace this A of ij with respect to pointers. A of ij with respect to pointers. Now what is P? P is the base address, that is 100. So here you are going to write 100 plus. Then you are going to do the multiplication concept. This internal concept. So let us copy paste. Now first initially the I value is 0. So here I value is 0, and here it is asking you number of columns. In that particular matrix, how many columns are there? We have 3 columns. So you are going to write here 3. Then J value is equal to 0 initially. So I value will be 0, J value will be 0. Then I value will be 0, J value 1. I value 0, J value 2. Then I value will become 1, J value 0, J value 1, J value 2. Like this, the process goes on. Now, as per this example is concerned, we are having the size of integer to be 2 bytes. So we are going to write 2. So internally, this is going to get evaluated. So what is 0 into 3 into 0? That is equal to 100 plus in brackets 0 into 3 into 0 is 0, into 2 is also 0. 0 into 2 is also 0. So here finally you are going to get the resultant to be 100. The base address. Initially you are going to store the value in base address. Then next time J value is going to increment by 1. So here you will be getting 1. So the resultant will be 102. Then J value will be incremented in the next iteration. So here you will be getting J value as 2. Like this, you are going to get another value that is 104. And this process goes on 100, 102, 104, 106, 108, so on. So this is what. So in other words, we are accessing 100th element. Here we are accessing 102 element. Here we are accessing 104 element. And this code is written inside the scanf. Because it is addressed directly, it is going to load the value into that location. Here it is going to load the value into 102 location. Here it is going to load the value into 104 address. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So the whole concept is based on this particular line. If you keep star 100 means value at address. Simply if you keep 100, it is address. Star 100 means value at address. So how to keep star for this line? Just to keep one parenthesis, one star, then a parenthesis, then copy paste that code. Now this line is called as value at address. This line is called as value at address. Next step one become one, sir. Yeah. Next, very good. So now this is the concept. This is what the code you are going to use for scanf, and this is the line what you are going to use for printf. Because you need to get the value at address. Star means value at address, and this is directly address. So if you understood these two lines, then the rest of the code will be very easy to you to understand. Okay. So here in the scanf, we are having directly address. P is the pointer which is pointing to A of 0, 0. So here we are accepting the value in A of 0, 0. First 0, 0 location, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, so on. So in similar fashion, we are going to accept B matrix. So B matrix is pointed by Q. Q is equal to address of B of 0, 0. So similarly, Q is getting the address or the data into B matrix. Then we are writing the addition code. Now here just concentrate, what is this? This is nothing but value at address C. C, whatever the R is pointing to C memory location, the same line of code. Here also the same line of code. Because we are using plus, we have added one extra flower bracket. Because star will be having highest precedence, so it may not execute plus correctly. So we are going to use one parenthesis for the entire code. So this is for value of address A, the value of pointer P, and value at address Q means A and B. We are adding and we are storing in R. Similarly, you can write the code for multiplication also, but the main intention is not writing addition of matrices or multiplication of matrices, but to understand how the memory is going to get accessed or allocated in a two-dimensional array. This is how the memory is going to get accessed using pointers. Is this clear? So in a similar fashion, you are going to print the matrix A, that is using pointer P, and similarly you are going to print matrix B using pointer Q, and similarly you are going to print the addition of both the matrices using pointer R. Is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. If you don't understand also, don't worry, divide this program into pieces. Try to understand what this line says and what if you add an asterisk this line says. That's it. Try to mug up this line. When you go for explain 39 line once, yeah, 39 line, yeah. 39 line, what is this is nothing but C of ij is equal to, what is this line? This line is something related to C of I j is equal to A of I j plus B of I and a j. For this simple line, we are making this simple line complicated by using pointers. But internally, this is what it is going to happen inside the compiler. And this is what the line they are expecting in a placement drive, exam or interview. Okay. This line they are expecting, because most of the compilers are online compilers and they will be having different allocations, different concepts, but this is what the line we are going to implement. Sir, in WhatsApp star is not mentioned in line 39. Okay, why like that? I'll copy and paste the code again. Maybe WhatsApp is removing some stars. It is also having issue with pointers maybe. Okay, we work on it. So what is this C of ij? Is it an address or value? Value, not address. Okay, so we need to have a star. So let us explain this C of ij independently. C of I and aj. So this is equal to star. How it is equal? Because C is pointed by R. Here we are having somewhere R is equal to address of C of 0, 0. R is equal to address of C of 0, 0. So first initially R is pointing to 0, 0 location. Now here we are taking the base address of R. In other words, in our example is concerned, what is the example? Okay, we lost. So for example, C value is having 300 as the base address. So here it is equal to star. The base address is 300. then plus what is the I and j value? Ij values are 0 into number of columns is 3 because it is a 3 cross 3 matrix. Here you are going to give number of columns, then plus j value that is 0 into size of integer. Let us take the example of 2 bytes or 4 bytes, it's up to you. So here the resultant is, it is equal to star 300 plus 0. Why we are getting 0? Because here we are having 0 into 3 plus 2, 0 into 3 plus 0. Here we need to have one more parenthesis. Yeah. Now it is okay. Okay. So 0 into anything is 0, plus 0 is also 0, into 2 is also 0. 0 into this whole together, we are going to get the resultant 0. So here the initial address is 300. So for the first time, it is going to work on 300th memory location, in other words. Next time, in the next iteration, j value will be incremented, I value will remain same. In the next iteration, j value will be incremented. So here 300 plus 0 into 3 plus 1 into 2. So what is the resultant of this? 0 into 3 is 0, plus 1 is 1, 1 into 2 is
302.
2. So the next address will be 302. If you are taking 4 bytes, it will be 304. Okay, so we are accessing the next memory location. Similarly, the j value will be incremented for the next iteration. So here you will be getting the value of j, that is here 2. Instead of 1, here you will be having 2. So the next memory location that is being accessed is 304. So this process goes on. So this is regarding C of ij. I hope it is clear. Now what we are storing in C of ij, that is equal to A of ij plus B of ij. That is what you are going to write. A of ij plus B of I and aj. So how to get this A of ij, B of ij? Simple code. Use instead of R, use here equal to P. Instead of R, change it to P. That is one change. Then write a plus symbol. Then again copy paste the code. Now here it will be Q. P plus Q. P represents A array, Q represents B array. Now here we will be getting the concept of operator precedence. Precedence means which operator is to be executed first, whether it has to execute asterisk or it has to execute plus. So the winner will be always an asterisk, okay, a pointer. So in order to avoid this confusion, just keep one parenthesis here and one parenthesis afterwards. If you don't keep the parenthesis also, it is going to work, because plus will be having lowest precedence with respect to asterisk. Okay, I hope it is understood now. So in order to avoid confusion, let us keep one flower bracket parenthesis here, and at the end of this also keep a flower bracket. So this is what is exactly happening. In other words, you are writing the code something like this: star 300 is equal to star 100 plus star 200. Star 100 plus star 200. Internally, this is happening. So for the next iteration, it is going to perform 300 plus 1. So here j value will be incremented. So it will become 301. So here it will be adding 102. Sorry, it will be having 302. So here we will be adding 102 plus 202. Store the resultant in 302. Like this, the process goes on. Is this clear now? Yeah, resend the code. I'll resend the code. Don't worry. Is this clear? If yes, we are going to copy this code in a Word document. Then we'll be sending. Yeah, thank you. Just try to understand. Don't try to fix the program. If you don't understand also, don't worry, leave it. Because these pointers are more dangerous than they resemble. Sometimes people will start acting in abnormal, or they are going to act abnormally. Pointers అర్థం కాకుంటే పిచ్చోళ్ళు అయిపోతారు నాన్న. ఎక్కువ కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేయకండి. వస్తే వచ్చింది, రాకుంటే పోనీయండి. Okay, so let me copy this code. in Word document. Just a second, because asterisks are used. Where is this? Word document, blank document. When you copy paste the program from Word document, let us go with Notepad instead. You will be losing the double quotes. So this program file save as desktop 2D array underscore pointers dot c. All desktop save Windows key. So yeah, here we have 2D array using pointers, browser, F1. So E2 also I'm going to copy for E2 batch. So let us get back to F1, 2D array. Now I hope you can open that program in Notepad. So same thing is written over here in the slide. Let us go to the next slide. What is this? Read a print 3 array. Yeah. Now this is a little bit complicated program. So let us reduce the complication. So we are going to reduce the complication of this code. So what we are going to do is simply till this part, this code is okay. So people may be having an issue with recollecting this line. Okay, everyone may be having an issue with reading this line of code. So what we are going to do is we are going to simply replace this code with a better code or a easy code. Now it will be I plus j. So this is another way to accept the data. So what was there initially, it is having this much line of code. So what we are going to do, simply we are going to change to p plus I plus j. In other words, okay. So the same thing we are going to do and execute the code q plus I plus j. Q plus I plus j. Then similarly, we are going to change this much huge code into small code, which will be easy to recollect, plus I plus j. Similarly, here also the same thing, p plus. Now, some of you may be happy to see this code. Sir, now this is understandable. Previously, it was something else. Q plus I plus j. So, one more bracket. Here also one more bracket. Yeah. So this is the simple code for adding the memory locations using pointers. Same pointers, but here we are not defining what is I value, what is j value as per the memory is concerned. Here simply we are replacing the value p plus I plus j. A simple and straightforward approach. Q plus I plus j. Good. And last one, R plus I plus j. So let us execute this program. We have reduced the code in terms of pointers. Okay. So execute, compile and run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we got correct output now. 147, 478, 789, so on. Okay. So, is there any doubt in this program? Simply we are adding I and j values. We are not moving the pointer. Pointer is there only at the 0, 0 index. Only we are changing the address.
Yes.
Pointer is on the same 0, 0 location. Either it may be A matrix, B matrix, or C matrix. Okay. So shall we move forward?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Thank you. I hope I'm making a huge problem simpler
Yes.
to understand. So let us create one more notepad program and send this program. So Control A, delete, Control V, file, save as. So same thing, 2D array pointers underscore simple. See, if I have explained this first, it may be tough to understand the previous program. That's why I have taken the toughest one. Then I am slowly reducing the complexity. If you are having friends in other sections, show them this program and ask them to explain. You'll enjoy the expressions. I'm not saying that I'm the best. Just try to play with your friends in other sections. And you can play with the friends who are absent today also. Provided they are not going to see the video of today's class. Okay, anyhow, let us get back to the concept. So this slide is over. Now, the next program is array of pointers. I have more pointers, an array of pointers which are going to point to an array of values. For example, just let us have one array of values. Say we are having 3 memory locations in an array, and the values that are available in this array are these things. For example, just a second, say 10. In this example, we are having 10, 100 and 200. For example, the addresses are say 1000 and the next address is 1002. If it is a 2-byte allocation, then 1004. Sir, why are you allocating 2 bytes? As you know, your system also gives 4 bytes. No, for our understanding, I am doing this. So the name of this array is var of 3 elements. See, here we are not assigning the value in the index. If it is a single dimensional array, you can omit this. Here it is going to calculate based on the number of values. 10, 100 and 200 means the compiler is going to replace here 3. Okay. So what I want to do is, using a single pointer, we are going to access these values. Let us see that program first. Let us see the program which is going to access individual elements of an array using a single pointer. Accessing one-dimensional array using one pointer, not more than one. So how to do that? So here we are taking integer a or var, it's up to you. So in our example, we have written var, so we are going to write var. And here it's up to you, you can write 3 or you can leave, because it's a single dimensional array. You can directly assign the values. So first value is 10 in this example, 100 in this example, and 200. So how to assign a pointer? Simply write integer asterisk p. Then p is equal to, you can write var or address of var of 0, your wish. Both are same because it is a single dimensional array. If it is a 2-dimensional array, then you need to write definitely var of 0, 0. Otherwise it won't work. So let us stick to this one. Let us remove the rest of the code. So values are for I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, then printf. So we can write here /n %d comma asterisk p. This program we have seen in our last class, p++. That's it, nothing more. So this is how we are going to access a single dimensional array. As per our previous class is concerned, nothing is there, no pointer or race concept, single pointer, an array is there, a single dimensional array is there. we are going to assign the address here, then we are going to print the value star p. Every time p plus plus means it is will be incremented by base address plus the size. Means what is happening is, here we are having a pointer. Just a second. Here we are having a pointer. The name of that pointer is p star p. So let us write here asterisk p. So this p will be having some address initially. Here, as per this particular line is concerned, p is equal to var means the base address, that is 1000, is available inside this particular p. So here we are having 1000. So now 1000 means the pointer is pointing to 0th location. Then if we execute this particular line called as p plus plus, then the pointer will be holding the address of the next memory location. So it will be pointing 102. So here you will be having 102, then you will be having 104. Okay. So this is what p plus plus is going to do. Initially it was at 1000. P plus plus means it is going to point to 102, then it is going to point to 104, then it will be pointing to 106 by the end of this for loop. By the end of this for loop. So pointer value is getting modified. In the previous example, we didn't change the pointer value. We used the pointer value to get the next value. Okay. So that is the only difference in this program and in the previous program. So let us execute the code, compile and run. What happened? We didn't declare I, integer I. So execute the code, compile and run. So we got 100, 100 and 200. So we got the data correctly. So let us write value at var of percentage d is equal to percentage d. So here we'll be having I. So this gives us a clear picture. So value at var of 0 is 10, var of 1 is 100, var of 2 is 200. That is what being pointed by the pointer. So is this clear? Any doubts are there? Is this clear? Any doubts are there? So this program we have seen in our previous class. So we are going to now make this program as, let me copy and paste this program first. See whether asterisk is there now for star p. Please confirm once, otherwise I'll be copying in Notepad and sending this program.
There, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So there is no issue. Now what I want to do is, in array of pointers, I need to have an array, not this one. So this is not the concept. What I need to do is, just let me clearly show in picture. So what we need to do is, we need to create an array of pointers. So we are creating an array of pointers. And this one too. So what it is star p of, so I'll clear this one. So what is this is? This is, in other words, star p. It is an array of pointers. It is, just a second, black, star p of 3. Means we are allocating an array of pointers. So what this array of pointer is going to do, this array of pointer has to hold a value 1000 here. So 1000 must be here. Then here it must be 1002, and here it must be 1004. So this is what is being expected now. So what do we mean by this? Means a pointer index must be pointing to this memory location, the next pointer index must be pointing to this one, next pointer index must be pointing to this one. So we are not moving the pointer. We are having an array of pointers where each and every pointer array is going to point to a memory location. So in order to do this, what are the modifications we need to make in the program? So this line will be there, integer var of 1010, and here we will be having pointer array of 3. Next one, p is equal to var of 0. So this will be address And next change is this is P of 0. So pointer of 0 is equal to var of 0. Then in the next line, we are going to write pointer array of 1, pointer array of 2, var of 1, var of 2. Is there any doubt in this code? Please let me know, otherwise we'll move forward. Now what is happening here? We are declaring an array of pointers. We are declaring a array of pointers. Then what we are assigning, P of 0 is equal to address of var of 0, means the address of 10, that is 1000, will be stored here. Then P of 1 will be having var of 1 address, that is 1002 will be stored in here. And here var of 2 address will be stored in P of 2, means this particular address 1004 will be stored here. So they are directly pointing. They are directly pointing. I hope there is no doubt. Then we are going to access this using pointers. So here we are going to write var of percentage is equal to star P of I. That is the only modification. Then there is no P plus plus, no increment. First time it is printing the value which is being pointed by 1000. Next I value will be incremented. Now pointer is this one. So it is going to print the value associated with 1002. Then I plus plus means now the pointer is this one. So it is going to print the value at 200. So there is no pointer increment. This is array of pointers. Is this code clear? Then let us execute the program. I'll consider that it is understood because I didn't got any response. So same output
Sir,
we got. Yeah. Understood. Thank you. So let me clear the drawings. Let me copy and paste this Control Z. Okay, what happened? It's lost. Control C. So what is the name of the program? Using array of pointers. So if this program is understood, then only you are going to understand the next program that is
Yes,
based
sir.
on strings.
Okay, sir.
If you have a doubt, please ask. So I think stars are there. Next one is, let us get back to slide. Yeah. So this one is over. Now see the slide. Next one is working on strings. Now what is the difference between previous program and this program? I'll explain. Let me copy this program first. This one. This one. So I'm copying constant. Copy. There will be long. So here integer main. Okay, now when we copy something, double quotes are going to change. So this concept you need to recollect. These double quotes are changing here. Okay, now if you recollect the previous one, what we have done is we have taken a variable integer n is equal to 10, for example. Then we have declared integer star p is equal to ampersand n. Means we are having separate memory, separate pointer. Okay, so just concentrate on this concept. So what is happening here is we have taken a memory location called as n, we have taken a memory location called as p. The addresses are say 100. Say the addresses are 1200 and 1400, for example. So 1200 is the address, 1400 is the address. Now the name of this memory location is n, and the name of this memory location is asterisk p. That is a point. So So n and star p. Now, as per this particular line is concerned, n is equal to 10. So here you will be having value called as 10. So here you will be having value called as 10. Then here you are having star p is equal to ampersand n. So here we are going to store the address, that is here we'll be getting 1200 in the address. So here we are getting 1200. So this means that the pointer is pointing to this memory location. So till now we don't have any confusion. Is that clear? Yes.
Yes.
Now, if you concentrate on this particular line, we don't have a separate memory. See, directly we are creating a pointer. Which is holding the values, and that too, it is not a single value. It is a array again. Array. Yes, because a string is collection of characters. This is a string, this is a string, this is a string, and so on. Now let me explain this concept now. So let us take one Excel. Okay, great. So what exactly is happening here? Just 1 second. I'll set the environment. So let me clear the drawings. Great. And controlling the font size 20. Thank you. So we are going to increase the font. Now, if you see here, we are having Raju, SRU, student, CSC. So let us store Raju. Raju will be stored something like this, RAJU. Raju. Next, just a second. Center text. So I hope you can see the text in your mobile phones also. SRU. So this is another array. Next one is student. STUDENT. So you can see every line will have a /0, which represents it is end of string. It is end of string. So let me copy and paste this also. So this is one more array. Next one, CS. So here, let me copy this one, CSE. Just a second. Okay. Now, if you see the size is different, what is the size of this particular string? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, the length of the string is 4, and the length of the string is 3. The length of the string is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the length of the string is 3. Is this right? We are having different lengths of string in a single declaration. Then this type of array is called as a ragged array. What is a ragged array? A ragged array is a two-dimensional array with a different lengths of strings in it. Is called as a ragged array. A ragged array is an array with a different lengths of string declared at once. Declared at once means here we are declaring a ragged array. This is called as declaration of a ragged array, where individual strings will have different lengths. Now, how many memory allocations are being performed here? In other words, this is a 2 cross 7 matrix. This is a 2 cross 7 matrix. Is it 2 cross 7 matrix or 4 cross 7 matrix? Because we are having 4 strings, every 4 strings are there, and every string is having variable lengths, different lengths, variable lengths, different lengths. So here it is, in other words, 1 cross 4. Here it is 1 cross 4. Here it is 3 cross 4. And here it is 7 cross 4, and here it is 3 cross 4. Yes, that is the length. Now, this is 1. This is 1 cross 4, and this is 1 cross 7, 1 cross 7, and this one is 1 cross 3. So one array of this size, one array of this size, one array of this size, and one array of this size. Where these are stored, we don't know. As per this example is concerned, where this Raju is stored, we don't know, because here we can say that star P is pointing to address of 10, the address of n which is holding a value 10. Okay, n is a separate memory location, but here in strings, in two-dimensional strings, two-dimensional characters is concerned, directly you can store the values by pointing to the array. In other words, it is names of 4 cross 7. In other words, it is names of 4 cross 7. So what do you mean by 4 cross 7? It is 4 and 7. This is how it is declared. Character of names of 4 and 7. And moreover, it is a pointer. On the same hand, you should not forget that this is a pointer. Whenever you are declaring a pointer, then you are going to remove the right indices. So when you are declaring it as a pointer, character names of 7, you are going to write. No, sorry, you are going to write names of 4. Names of 4. Now, if you declare an integer array, just for example, I'm saying this, integer x of is equal to 10, 20, 30. Now, what is the size of x? This can be also written as x of 3. This can be also written as x of 3. Either you can declare the array like this, or you can declare the array like this. If you are declaring the array like this, then it is going to, compiler is going to count how many values are there, and that will be replaced with a 3 at the time of compilation. So both are acceptable. Either you declare the array like this, or you declare the array like this. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, thank you. So in the similar fashion, we are declaring a character array like this. Where this Raju is stored, we don't know. Inside the memory at some location, it is going to store. SRE will be stored somewhere. Student will be stored somewhere. CSC will be stored somewhere. So this is another typical example of declaring a pointer of a two-dimensional array. If it is a character, you can do like this. This is clear. Internally, it is going to store something like this. Different memory locations.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how to print these names? So is being implemented here. So we are taking one integer variable called as I for the sake of loops to repeat. Then we are printing names of I. That's it. Names of I. So here we are using pointers for two-dimensional character array. Here we are directly displaying it as names of I. Here we are not using it as a pointer. If you want to complicate it, you can complicate it by using one more character pointer, character star P, which is equal to names of 0. You can try this at home, not here. I'm not going to work on this pointer. Let me clear this one. Okay, you can try this using star P and you print the strings using star P. How to do that? You can work out home. Okay, when you are in your free time, not here. So this is how you are going to use axis two-dimensional or one-dimensional strings, two-dimensional characters, whatever you call. One-dimensional strings using pointers. Okay, using pointer, we are declaring this array of strings. And this is also called as a ragged array because lengths are different for the values. So execute, compile and run. So we got Raju, SRU, student, CSC, everything is working fine. Is there any doubt?
Sir, it means names is an pointer array, no, sir?
Yeah, names is a pointer array. Very good, right one.
Okay, sir, that's fine.
This is only acceptable with respect to strings, not for integers, floating, etc. Only for strings explicitly, this is acceptable by the compiler. So copy and paste. Next one. So let us go to the next one. All this we have done almost. Swapping of two numbers. So this is what is we are going to do in breakout rooms. Already have these also. I'll share these programs also. This one with you. All the reference is over. Pointers to structures. We'll see when the structures concept comes. Not now. You won't understand self-referential structures, all this stuff. Then, yeah, let us see this program related to nested or levels of dereferencing. Okay, let us see this one. Elements. Let me copy the code first. Yeah, this one. Now we will work on typical dereferencing, levels of dereferencing. Accessing multiple levels of dereferencing. Is almost a pointer, so we will not write pointer. So let me remove this and this one. So what we are going to do is we are going to create one variable called as k, then an array a semicolon, then integer, array of pointers. We are mixing, we are complicating the things here. One is we are having levels of dereference and we are having array of pointers, both clubbed in this program. Both the concepts. See here, pointer array, P of 3 is pointer array, and star star C of 3 means it is a pointer array with two levels of dereferencing. Pointer to pointer, array of pointers. This one is pointer to pointer to pointer, array of pointers. Pointer to pointer to pointer to pointer, array of pointers. So we are mixing both of them. We are making this program a little bit complicated one, but I'm going to show this program is the easiest, how this can be resolved. So what we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to write b of k is equal to a plus k. Means we are storing the base address of a and we are mixing with k because we are having zeroth index, index 1, index 2. Here, initially we are going to store zeroth index into b of 0. Then next iteration, it will be, for example, a address is 100, 100 plus 0, we are going to store this 100 plus 0 in b of 0. In the next iteration, it will be b of 1, where you are going to store 100 plus 1, 100 plus 2. Okay. I hope you recollect the previous concept. So this is for b of k. Similarly, we are going to store for c of k. C of k is equal to b plus k. Then d of k, e plus k, then a plus k. So this is how we are going to assign the addresses. This loop is for assigning the addresses. Any doubts here?
No, sir, no doubts.
Yeah, thank you. So this is how we are going to assign the addresses. Now it is a single pointer with an array of 3. 2 pointers, pointer to a pointer with array of 3. That's why we are taking B address over here because it is pointer to pointer. C is pointer to pointer. D is pointer to pointer to pointer. That's why we are taking the address of C, address of D, address of E. Okay. So let us write the code for printing these values. How to print the values? Simply, we can print the values using dereference operator. So printf /n value at, what is that? A of percentage D using B is equal to percentage D comma asterisk B is going to fetch us the value of A, because B of K is equal to A of K. So it must be B of K. Here it must be first K comma B of K, because here we are having percentage D using B, K comma B of K. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, we are going to write for the rest. Yeah. So here we are going to write for C, D, E, F. That's it. It is last, yes. So here we are going to write B, then C, D, E, F. Next is we need to increase the level of dereferencing. It is pointer to pointer. It is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in other words, we are having a pyramid here, pyramid of stars. Okay, so this is how we are going to get the values using B, using C, using D, using E, using F. Let us execute this program. Now let us not write slash in here. Okay, let us write here slash in. Then let us remove slash in. Let us write slash D. Slash D. Then comma slash T. Just for display purpose, I'm changing the code. Then here also slash T before that a comma, but we will be having lesser space. So E is equal to then comma slash T, then is equal to. Okay, so slash T means 8 spaces it is going to print. It is going to print all the values in the same line. Only this line, first line, is going to print in the next line. So execute, compile and run. See, here you can see the result. Value of A, B is 1, C is 0, D is 0, E is 0, F is 0, Y must be 1, 2, 3. Are we taking the values? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. We are taking the values. B of K, star B of K, star C of K. Everything is fine. Why we are not getting the result? Evaluate percentage D. Because we are printing K. That's the issue. So execute, compile and run. So we are getting the same output using B1, C1, D1, E1, F1, B2, C2, T2, same thing. All these are values related to A of 0, A of 1, A of 2. So our program is working fine. Is there any doubt in this program?
No.
Then we are having only one more program left over, then we'll be starting breakout rooms. What is the time now? 8:50. We are short of time. Copy the program. WhatsApp group. Next one is related to dangling pointer. My pointer is over. Dangling point. Dangling pointer means what we are going to do is in the next unit we are having dynamic memory allocation. Dynamic memory allocation means for integer it is going to allocate 2 bytes or 4 bytes. I want to store a value greater than that. Means I want to allocate 10 bytes, 20 bytes, 100 bytes for a memory location, and that too at runtime. For example, now I'll show you the code. In order to create the memory, we can have 3 methods called as malloc. What is this? We'll see. One function we'll see now. Calloc. What is this? Clearly we'll see in the next unit. Realloc. These are the 3 methods using which we can allocate the memory to a pointer, and this is the function which is going to remove the memory for a pointer. Whatever the memory that is allocated, if we delete that memory from the heap memory and These are called as a dynamic memory allocations. A dynamic memory allocation. Static memory allocation means, suppose if you are having integer I, means it is here, it is going to allocate 4 bytes of memory with respect to my compiler is concerned. Now, these 4 bytes are created at compilation time, not executing. While executing also, you can create the memory allocation. So if it is allocating the memory, then this is called as static allocation. Otherwise, if you are going to allocate at runtime using any of these 3 functions, by using any one of the 3 functions, then it is called as dynamic memory allocation. Okay? Dynamic memory allocation means it will be created on a heap memory. Heap memory is a different memory, and RAM is a different memory. Heap memory will be having dynamic memory allocation. So how to do that? Say integer star p is equal to integer star malloc size of int. So this is how you are going to allocate the memory. This is how you are going to allocate the memory for a pointer. Now this pointer is holding a dynamic memory of 4 bytes on the heap. Next we are going to write star p is equal to 1000. Then let us print the value. Printf /n p is equal to, or star p is equal to %d comma star p. Now this is going to print the value. Then we want to free it. Free means removing the memory that is allocated, deleting the memory that is allocated to p. Now the memory is deallocated. Now the pointer is called as dangling pointer. Dangling pointer is a pointer whose memory is allocated at runtime and removed. Now here it is called as dangling. What is this dangling pointer? What is free? What is all this memory allocation will be studied in the next semester. In your 2-1, you are having a subject called as data structures. There you will be showing more importance on dangling pointers, how to allocate the memory, what is null pointer, etc. All these concepts you are going to study thoroughly in the next semester, not now. Okay. So let me compile and see whether our program is working fine. Yes. Now see here, initially the value is 1000, and after freeing, now the dangling pointer is holding some address. It is holding some address. So this is the example of dangling pointer. Is there any doubt? This is how you are going to allocate the memory. Sir, you said 4 bytes are being allocated. Why to go with this? Can I allocate 100 bytes? Yes, replace it to 100. It is going to allocate 100 bytes of memory. Still you are storing 1000. If you want to store your phone number, for example, an integer of 16-bit is going to store minus 32,767 to plus 32,768. Minus 768 to plus 767. So if anything goes beyond it, it is going to do a rotation concept. It is not going to store. But if you want to store your phone number, then how to do that? You can use dynamic memory allocation. You can increase the number of bytes. Then you can allocate more space or more values can be accommodated. So this is the example of dynamic memory allocation. Is there any doubt? If there is no doubt, we'll stop the class here. It's 3:21. So let me copy and paste. So now we are going to make breakout rooms. I'm getting instant feedback. Somebody is having his mobile phone in vibration mode. And once the message is received, it is blowing. Everyone is getting confirmed that the message has been received. So what we are going to do is try to do these programs now using pointers. Yeah. Write a C program to check whether a given number is odd or even and find the grades of the students. Only 2 programs because not much time is there. We are having only half an hour, 30 minutes. Okay. Up to 4 o'clock we are going to. So I am going to copy paste this particular assignment questions here, and let us make breakout rooms. Try to solve those problems using pointers and get the marks. So I'm going to make breakout rooms now. Two breakout rooms as yeah, open on. That. Sir, what is the use of calloc? That thing we'll discuss in the next unit, next lab. Don't worry about it. Malloc, calloc, realloc, we will see in there. All of you join the breakout rooms. Let me stop recording.